All right, this video is showing how to plan out your chapters in more detail once you've figured out all the beats that are going to be part of that chapter. So in this example, I'm going to use the final chapter, which is where everything comes together. So I'm going to hit detail. And right now we've got 4 beats that we need to cover. So let's see. Rebel fleet exploits flaw, destroys Death Star. Luke fires a winning shot, destroys the Death Star. Han swoops in with the Millennium Falcon. Luke trusts the Force. So you could write actual prose here, but I never do. Like this is intended to be just a really detailed outline. So I might say like rebels realize that the Empire is knows where they are and is approaching. They use the stolen plans from R2-D2 and find a flaw in the Death Star. Come up with a desperate plan to attack Han. Well, we already know that Han's not gonna stay around, so maybe you know maybe the Han refusing to stay around should be part of this chapter. In fact, actually, I am gonna make it part of this chapter. Han refuses to take his reward money and leaves a rebel behind. So I'm gonna say this is the same chapter. And now it's saying you have a conflict. Um, you already said that these come in different chapters, but now you're saying it comes in the same chapter, but I can remove the conflict, or sorry, I can remove the constraint I added before to make this work. So I'm going to say remove the constraint. They actually come in the same chapter. Let me go back to the detail. Let's see. Han Solo takes his reward money and refuses to help Luke despite Luke's urging. Luke and the other rebels fly in X-Wings toward Death Star. So now that I've indicated that this happens, I can go over here and say Han takes his, I can go over here and select this. And now what that does for me is now I know that this has a check mark by it. Now I know that I've covered this particular beat. And so now I got 4 more that I need to cover. And this is highlighted. Let's see, what else do I need to cover? So these all kind of happen at the same time. So I'm just gonna go kind of fast here. Let's see. I believe what happens is Luke, after much adversity, is and failing with his targeting computer, hears Obi-Wan's ghost urging him to use the Force. He turns off his targeting computer. So I'm going to say trust the Force. And then, but before he can destroy the Death Star, Darth Vader comes behind him and is about to destroy him, but suddenly Han Solo appears and attacks Vader, saving Luke. This paves way for Luke to fire the winning shot. The rebels retreat. The Death Star explodes, and there is a huge celebration at the end. All right, so Han Solo swoops in. I mark that. Luke fires the winning shot, and then the Death Star explodes, so that'll be this one, destroys the Death Star. All right, so now I've written some pretty detailed, well, detailed is relative, but I've written a more detailed plan of how each of these beats is going to appear in the chapter. And like I said, you could actually make this real prose if you want to. I prefer not to because I'd rather just tell than show at this part and make the point here is for me to see how the chapter is going to flow and make sure that all the beats are covered. So once I've got all the beats covered, then I can go back here. And at this point, um, like the apps, this is pretty much ready to actually start writing real prose, in my opinion. There's some tools like contracts that will show you whether you've got whether each thread has a promise, payoff, and progress in it. And in this case, all of them do. If you were missing promise or payoff in any of your threads, it would show up here. And so this is like a nice diagnostic. Or if you had, plot threads with no progress in it, this would show you. So this is a diagnostic way to make sure you don't miss anything. And when you have the more plot threads you have, then the easier it is to miss things. So this is like a super handy diagnostic tool. There's also full undo and redo support. So like, you probably saw me using undo and redo over here. You can have like the history open here, and you can go back, and undo, redo any changes you made. So you don't have to be afraid of making any kind of changes, because if you mess something up, you can always go back and undo it and redo it. So yeah, there's your guided tour of PlotPlot. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you are successful with the app. So let me know how you make out, and if you find any bugs or find any things that are like annoying that you wish were different. All right, thanks. Bye.